Okay, I'm live. I'm here on my own. I'm supposed to be interviewing Contra Sedevacantism. Contra Sedevacantism. Where are you? Where are you? You should be in my chat, my live chat now. Right? You should be right here with me now, doing this interview, talking about your love of Christ and his church. Maybe challenging me because you think I'm oh so wrong about so many things. You're upset about the fact that I had Lena on. You're upset about many, many things, it seems. Who knows? Only God knows, only you know, because you won't come on the podcast and talk about it. You booked twice. So this guy, Contra Sedevacantism, he booked twice and canceled twice. And I'm just going to go over some of the back and forth, the very interesting conversations we've had, the ups and downs, the emotional roller coaster, the high hopes, the expectations I had, and how they're dashed each and every time by this very elusive and antagonistic and paranoid individual. I first noticed Contra Sedevacantism in the comments section, and I didn't think anything of it. It just seemed like a Catholic guy making Catholic comments. But then when I had Lena on, you saw I did the reactions to Lena. And the first reaction that I mentioned was that reaction about the psychology. How can you explain that a guy wants to be a girl? That was Contra Sedevacantism. Okay, so he subsequently has deleted all of those comments. I don't know why. It seems paranoid. Why would you make a comment and then delete it? Delete the whole thread, along with my beautiful confession about the fantasies I've had about being a woman. Not that I would ever do it, but just in a hypothetical situation, you know. I talked about that in my episode reactions to Lena Santiago. Check that out if you haven't seen that already. Go check it out if you want. It's just in passing that I mentioned Contra Sedevacantism. I didn't even mention him by name. The drama was already starting at that point because I said, hey, well, if you want to talk to Lena, I can hook you up. And I sent a group email and I said, let's make this happen. Because that's what my channel's about. My channel, if you didn't figure it out yet, my channel's called Catholic Versus. Okay, so it's about a Catholic, me, contrasting his worldview with non-Catholics and with other Catholics, rad, trad, sedevacantists at first, and then I started having faithful Catholics who agree with me about a lot of stuff, not everything, but a lot of stuff. It's called Catholic Versus, okay? And so Contra Sedevacantism, whatever his real name is, I have no idea, but Contra Sedevacantism said, oh, well, I'm not going to come on your podcast because you're too contentious. And it's like, well, yeah, that is the nature of my podcast. It's about confronting our most cherished beliefs and those fundamental axiomatic assumptions, metaphysical assumptions that we take for granted, trying to dig a little bit deeper than, hey, how's it going? How's the weather? What do you think of the sports team? Oh, too bad they lost by 2 points last night. Better luck next time. Whatever. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's look at ultimate reality. Let's look at the essential saving truths of the one true religion, right? If you're a Catholic, Contra Sedevacantism, if you're a Catholic, let's examine. Let's take a look. Let's see who's right, you or me. When it comes to Lena, should I have called down fire and brimstone from heaven, as the sons of thunder did in Jesus' day? I'm open to persuasion. I'm very open-minded. Right? So I'm just going to go through today's back and forth. I mean, there are other emails, but I'm not going to dig back into the archives here. I'm just going to look at what happened today, because I find it very, very revealing, very, very tragic and comic at the same time. I emailed Contra Sedevacantism, and I said, as you probably know, I enroll my guests, each and every one, in a perpetual mass league. So I will need your first and last name. I will also use your real name in the title of the interview, unless you decide that you want to remain anonymous. And I put in parentheses, which I find a bit creepy and anti-Christian, but perhaps you have a good reason. Let me know. Thanks. Contra Sedevacantism responded, what do you find creepy and anti-Christian about remaining anonymous, especially when you're the one who requested an interview? And I explained, I guess that means you want to remain anonymous. Okay, LOL. Anyway, give me a name, fake or real, only you and God will know for sure, and I'll enroll you and your immediate family in a perpetual mass. So what do we have here? We have me begging this man, this Catholic man, to allow me to enroll him and his family in a perpetual mass league so that he can be flooded with graces all day, every day, until the end of time. Right? And what's the response I get? You know, just a defensiveness about, well, I want to remain anonymous. I said, well, I already said you might have a good reason. And, you know, I find it a bit creepy and weird and anti-Christian to hide your identity when you're preaching the gospel in a public forum online, right? YouTube. What have you got to hide, basically? But he's fighting me. He's resisting me. He comes back and says, you are not answering my question. What do you find anti-Christian about remaining anonymous? So I just quote scripture in one of the Gospels. It says, you are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they set it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So I think that's pretty clear, right? We're Christians. We're the salt of the earth, the light of the world. And hey, let's remove the mask and let's just say, hey, my name is John Doe, or whatever it might be. I mean, you're free to give me a fake name if you want. And I'm a Christian. Here's my face. This is what I look like, warts and all. Okay. Contra Sedevacantism responded to my Bible quote by saying, how does being anonymous prevent from getting the Christian message across? And I responded saying, yeah, you're probably right. Nothing creepy. Never mind. And I put an image of a Catholic, so-called Catholic priest giving communion on the tongue to a bunch of clowns in clown outfits and the full-on clown makeup, the red nose, funny clothes, hats, wigs, you name it. Okay, so, you know, we've all heard the rad trads lament these clown masses that took place allegedly. I don't know if it's true or false, but I've heard a lot about it. These clown masses in the Novus Ordo Church or wherever it is. I have no idea really the backstory for this, but maybe am I able to share this on the screen? I wonder if I'm able to share this on the screen, because this isn't my normal setup. How could I do this? Search with Google Lens. Okay. I'm going to share this on the screen just because I think it's funny. Or maybe I'll just screen share this whole thing. Can I open the image in a new tab? There we go. That's what I'll do. Bear with me. Bear with me. I've got a display capture here somewhere. Is that it? There it is. Oops. So you can see the image on the screen there. I didn't do a good job of cropping it, but oops. I'm all over the place here. What happened to me? Experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Anyway, you get the idea. You can see the little clown image there. Display capture. Can I make this bigger? Yes or no? What the? Why can't I make it bigger? Anyway, you get the idea. So I said, yeah, you're probably right. Nothing creepy about wanting to remain anonymous and hiding behind a mask and a fake name and all this sort of thing. And he says, you're clearly not serious about having a discussion. I think this is merely a ploy to get my identity, which will never happen. The discussion is clearly off. Wow, this guy's paranoid. Why do I want your identity, buddy? Why? What am I going to do? Am I going to pretend to be you? Like, hey, I'm John Doe. My handle online is Contra Sedevacantism. What am I going to do with that information, buddy? I think I already told you what I want your name for. It's to enroll you and your family in a perpetual mass league. Hello. Hey, Nicola Krisick in the chat, live chat. Praise be Jesus Christ. Love you, brother. Love heart emoji. Thank you, Nicola. I don't have a lot of time here. I'm going to be heading out soon. Nicola, you got to come on the live chat. Not the live chat, the live stream again soon. We'll get some of the All-Stars wrangled. I just sent an email to Matthew Murdoch today. Got to wrangle the boys and get together. I've got a bit of a surprise guest tomorrow. I've got a couple of guests tomorrow. There's one special surprise guest tomorrow that I think the All-Stars, top tier, platinum and gold All-Stars are going to get a kick out of my guest tomorrow. So... So I'm going to continue. I'm going to head out because I got to go meet some friends, but I just want to go through this email, finish going through it. So he's just paranoid. I want to steal his identity, this Contra Sedevacantism guy. Like, what would I possibly do with your identity, buddy? Give me a break. I replied to that by saying, you're extremely antagonistic and paranoid, which is why I really want to interview you. And that's true. I mean, these are the kinds of guys that I really always am desperate to get on my podcast, and they just wriggle out of it every time. They agree and then cancel, and they agree and then veto it, or they agree and then don't show up or whatever. Like these antagonistic ones, they're the ones I want, because I want to be challenged. I want someone that hates me to tell me why they hate me, but they're just too chicken shit, excuse my language. They're too weak and cowardly to actually come on like a man face to face and say, hey, I disagree with you about this, and these are the reasons why. Right? And this is a Catholic. This is my brother in the Lord. I wish him nothing but, I wish him well. You know, I have no ill will towards this guy whatsoever. But I think he's highly antagonistic, which I find attractive, because that's what I want on my podcast. And I think he's paranoid. Right? What am I going to do with your identity, buddy? So anyway, I go on to say, your type is very elusive. Anyway, I will agree to not enroll you. I just did a split infinitive there, but I will agree to not enroll you and your family in a perpetual mass if that's important to you. If it's that important to you. Even though you had the option of telling me your name is, quote unquote, John Doe, and I would have used that name to register you on the list of the Missionary Fathers of St. Charles Borromeo, and you would have been flooded with the graces of the Mass until the end of time. So look at what you're missing out on, buddy. I mean, it's no big deal, but it's like you're kicking up a big fuss. You think I want to steal your identity? Like, you're Catholic, I'm Catholic. I want your name to enroll you in perpetual mass, and you're paranoid about that. So I go on. So we can still do the interview / discussion, and you can keep your precious anonymity, my brother in the Lord, LOL. I'm just goading him and reminding him that, hey, wink, wink, we're both Catholic. Wink, 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 both Catholic, right? You can lower your guard a bit, buddy. You can lower the guard. He comes back to me, says, thanks for admitting you were that you weren't serious to begin with and had no sincere intentions. You are clearly not from God. The fact that you conclude your statement with LOL shows you are immature. Oh boy. Okay, so immature, yes. Not from God. Okay, whatever. Thanks for admitting you were not serious to begin with. No, I've been serious the whole time. And that I had no sincere intentions. No, I had sincere intentions the whole time. Pons Cremator in the live chat. Are you a Sedevacantist CVS? No, I am not. Far from it. No. Hi. Nice to meet you. No, I am a Catholic. You, question mark? So, Contra Sedevacantism says, I'm already enrolled in perpetual masses. Putting LOL after calling me a brother in the Lord is clearly anti-Christian. No laughing aloud, right? This is the message I'm getting. You're an absolute embarrassment. Okay, guilty as charged. I'm embarrassment. I'm immature. Guilty as charged. What does that have to do with you gathering the nerve to come and chat with your fellow Catholic about our precious faith? What how is that relevant? Okay, I'm stupid. I'm ugly. I stink. I eat food like a pig. Whatever. Like, guilty, 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 guilty. Yeah, but do you want to come and talk about our precious faith, buddy? Yes or no? Right? So I respond, I'm literally laughing out loud at your silly pride and your fear. What are you afraid of, my brother in Christ? LOL. So I'm just goading him here, trolling him a little bit. He says, since I was willing to have an interview, clearly I wasn't afraid. I've already done other interviews. For example, with Original Win Productions, I'll have to look that up, on multiple topics. You call me antagonistic, but in fact, that's a perfect description of yourself, beginning with your request that I debate a guy that dresses like a woman. That's not antagonistic. That's like, hey, you challenged Lena with your comment, and then I said right away, I group emailed you and said, hey, why don't you two adults talk like adults? And you're like, no, I'm not prepared. I'm not educated. I'm not an expert in psychology. 1,000 excuses. And then you deleted your comment and the whole thread was deleted. Does that sound like a mature adult? No. We can discuss our differences. Like you and I can discuss our differences. I can discuss my differences with Lena. You can discuss your differences with Lena. We can all talk like adults. Okay? Contra Sedevacantism goes on to say, maybe that's what you're into and my questions rubbed you the wrong way, question mark. So the fact that this guy dresses like a woman is what I'm into. It's like, oh, this is your subtle humor. Like, oh, maybe I'm gay. I like trannies or whatever. First of all, I don't know. I didn't see what Lena was wearing. I don't know. I didn't frankly pay that much attention. Like I saw the makeup, I saw the hair, whatever. To each his own. This guy is not a Catholic, clearly. I mean, we know that. So let him do his thing. What's the problem? Pons Cremator, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly, says, I presume the current Roman pontiff reigns validly, but if the church in the future declares him to be an anti-pope, I wouldn't be surprised. Laughing emoji. Sure, yeah, I mean, this is the position of any sane Catholic. It's like, what is the litmus test for who the Pope is? Go to Mass and listen to the prayers of the Mass, and currently the prayers for the Holy Father are for Pope Francis. Period. End of discussion. That's the end of the discussion. And then in 100 years, when they look back and say, oh, Pope Francis wasn't really the Pope, sure, the people of that time will conform to the church in that way. But you just have to live in reality. The reality is Pope Francis is the Pope. How do we know that? Because of the Mass. The church is praying for our Pope and naming our Pope as Pope Francis. Period. End of question. Is he a communist? Is he the Antichrist? I don't know. God only knows. We'll find out maybe in our lifetime, maybe just at on Judgment Day. Who cares? You're not going to go to hell because of the sins of a pope or the sins of an anti-pope. Who cares? Love the man, pray for the man. I pray for the Pope every day. And I sincerely like him and I wish him well. Is he bewildering? Yeah. A lot of things bewilder me. Why is he pumping evolution? Why is he pumping the jab for COVID? It's bewildering. But he's a man. He's imperfect, right? So, anyway, when Contra Sedevacantism went on his big rant there, I just responded, fascinating. So are we doing the live stream tonight? Question mark. He says, absolutely not. You need to carefully examine your behavior because it does not exemplify Christian virtue and the motivation you have for doing your apostolate. Your behavior is so Your behavior so far is clearly not from God. Yeah, which part? Because I interviewed Lena? Or is it because I suggested that you and Lena talk like normal adults about your differences? Or is it when I asked you for your name privately so that I could enroll you and your family in a perpetual mass? Is it when I offered that you could give me a fake name if you wanted? Because all that matters, like God knows who you are, and it doesn't really matter if you tell me your real name, and only you and God will know if you gave me the real name or not. Like, I gave you so many options. I gave you so many outs. You can use a fake name. You can use an avatar. You can use whatever you want. I just asked you for your name. You could say no, or you can give a fake name. It's up to you, right? So what part of my behavior is so ungodly and lacking in Christian virtue? I'm not claiming to be the paragon of virtue, Christian virtue. But what in our exchanges, what has been so offensive and ungodly? You know, because I say LOL. It's just shorter than saying, hey, you're so silly that you're making me laugh out loud. Okay? Like, you're so silly, you're making me laugh out loud. That's a lot more finger work than just LOL. Bang. So I respond, fascinating. You make it sound like you're willing and able to offer me constructive criticism on my walk with God. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you point me in the right direction? If you're free this evening, say 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, perhaps you'll be willing to show me the error of my ways. Think about it and let me know. We can discuss it on my live stream, on my Catholic podcast. Hey, what an idea. Which I set up to be challenged by those with a perspective that differs from my own. What do you say, pal? So it's just like, this is what it's all about. This is why I do the podcast, is to talk to morons like you who get their panties in a knot about the tiniest little details. And I want to discuss that because it seems like there's some difference of opinion that seems to be aggravating you. Let's get to the heart of it. Is it because Lena, unlike the other controversial guests that I've had in the past, is a little bit younger? Is that why? Because I've had transgenders. I've had Brenda. I've had Morgane Auger. Okay, no one was getting excited about them. You know, a little bit, older, heavy set, whatever. So what's with this? What's with the reaction? Pons Cremator says, I wouldn't say Sedes are non-Catholic, though their opinion isn't heretical. Well, I disagree. Well, okay, maybe schismatic, maybe that's a better word. It's like, if you reject Vatican II, you're not, I'm sorry to say, you're not Catholic, right? You're no more Catholic than Southern Baptist at that point, or Greek Orthodox or whatever. You have to accept Vatican II. You have to accept Pope Francis, period, right? And Pons Cremator, nice to meet you. I'm going to send you the link now so you can book an interview with me. Click that link and book an interview. I'd like to meet you. I'd like to talk to you, and you seem like a nice person. And it's certainly not a criterion for being my guest. What I really want are aggravating a-holes like Contra Sedevacantism. Those are my most coveted guests. The aggressive, antagonistic, paranoid, delusional maniacs. Those are the ones I want on. So, but if you're moderate and level-headed and reasonable, that's fine too. Just not as exciting as meeting an absolute nutbar like Contra Sedevacantism. I'm hoping he'll change his mind and come on the show. He says this whole conversation. Hold on. He says, okay, here he says, you are clearly not normal. Guilty as charged. The fact that you are willing to make false accusations about me, calling me paranoid, that's not a false accusation. I'm literally a Catholic asking another Catholic to have first name, last name to register you and your immediate family in a perpetual mass. And you think I want to steal your identity? You are paranoid, my friend. You are paranoid. You're sick in the head. You need to seek help. It's not normal. It is not normal. Okay? Unless you've been fooled by the perpetual mass enrollment gig before, let me know. That would be the one sort of case where I'd think, oh, okay, maybe you're not paranoid. You've been burned 16 times by fake Catholics wanting to enroll you, claiming to want to enroll you in perpetual masses. Okay, I'll let you off the hook if that's the case. Otherwise, you are paranoid. So he says, false accusations about me after you used low-grade tactics of calling my anonymity anti-Christian to manipulate me into giving you my name. Shows you lack psychological and spiritual maturity. I will not be promoting your podcast by having you interview me. You are clearly Antichrist in your demeanor and behavior. Holy shit, excuse my language, but this is just absurd. I really want to meet this guy. I respond, did I not say that you may have a good reason for wanting to be anonymous? Did I not say that you can give me a fake name? Right? Did I not say that the reason to have a name, real or fake, was merely to enroll you and your immediate family in a perpetual mass? Which of those manifest realities strikes you as Antichrist? LOL. By the way, I say, anyway, I'll send you the link at 7 p.m. and we'll see what happens. He responds, this whole conversation, you already admitted that you had ulterior motives for interviewing me. You can send me the link all you want. I'm going to be on your show. That was a typo, but I just rubbed his face in the typo and just quoted it back to him. Pons Cremator in the live chat says, sounds interesting. I'd like to talk about evolution as well. I don't think Darwinism in its bare biological sense contradicts creation. I strongly disagree. I'd love to discuss it with you in a friendly fashion. This is a very interesting book. Father Chad Ripperger, The Priestly Fraternity of St. Peter. I'm a member of the confraternity of that order. I support them by my daily prayers. There's a special prayer I say every evening. And this book, The Metaphysics of Evolution. Check it out. But we'll talk about it. Pons Cremator, I'm really happy to meet you. I'm excited to talk to you. Thanks for reaching out and thanks for being there. Continuing now, we're almost done here. Contra Sedevacantism says, again, you show forth your immaturity. Well, I've already pled guilty to immaturity publicly. I've done this many times. Who cares? Sending me clown pictures and putting LOL after every sentence. Anyone reading this conversation would assume you were a teenager. Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. So my response to him was, LOL, I'm going live with or without you. I expect to see you in the live chat, if not on Google Meet video chat. And then I say, laughing out loud, because he doesn't like when I use the acronym. He says, I don't expect many people will see it. You might want to find a new hobby. Ooh, ouch. I said, my target audience is very small. One person, LOL. And then he just responds with a 0, the numeral 0. And I jokingly say, calling yourself a 0 is not humility, it is self-loathing. He says, no, I mean, you will have 0 audience, which was obvious, but I was just having fun with him. And I just ended the conversation with LOL, and he didn't respond. So, I mean, I'm not a normal adult person. I'm a silly, stupid moron, emotionally immature in every way. Okay? That's established. That's a fact. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. But I'm also not, I don't have high expectations that I'm going to suddenly be stuffy and mature. It's just like, it's a little bit too late to completely rework my entire personality. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of irrelevant. Like, I mean, the bottom line here, what is essential? What is happening? What is happening between me and this guy, Contra Sedevacantism? What happened? What is the essence and what are the most salient points of what happened between these two Catholic men? He was annoyed that I interviewed Lena and I was so friendly and a little bit flirty with this young man who I found charming and warm. This young man that I love because God loves him and Christ died for him, right? And he's not claiming to be Catholic, so he can literally do what he wants to do. Okay? In the meantime, I'm going to love him. I'm going to try to educate him. I'm going to show him the way, the error of his ways, and as much as I can, and try to entertain the audience also. It's not like, it's not a very, very, very serious affair. It's just two people talking, two people with different opinions. Okay? But Contra Sedevacantism took exception to the way that I interviewed this young man. Okay, fine. And he put his comments, and I gave my suggestion that they talk about it like adults, and he deleted the whole thread, and then he booked an appointment, then he canceled the appointment, then he booked an appointment, then he canceled the appointment. And he's just like so fragile, so frail, so delicate, such a snowflake. It's like we're two adults. Yes, I'm immature, but we're still two adults. We're both Catholic. We can talk about our differences. We can figure this out. What's essential, what's not essential. Right? What does it mean to love your enemies? What does it mean to have unity in essentials and diversity in non-essentials and charity in all things? Right? What does it mean to respect the free will of the non-Catholic? What does that mean? And what does it mean in the Bible when St. Paul says that we should shun those who are called brothers, right? Who are practicing sexual immorality, but not the non-brothers, not the those outside of the church. We don't shun them, right? St. Paul says we do not shun them. We do not shun them. We don't shun those outside of the church because of their immorality. We shun those within the church. We should only fear bad Catholics. Now, if Lena were claiming to be a Catholic and claiming that his perspective on morality and on God and on everything else is the Catholic teaching, the Catholic tradition, Catholic doctrine, Catholic dogma, then I've got a big, 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 big problem with Lena. But until that time, it's just another lost sheep. It's just another lost sheep. There's no fear. And I'm forbidden to despair of Lena's eternal salvation. So no, I do not agree with the criticisms that I got for the way I treated Lena. I mean, I got some criticisms that I was too harsh on Lena. Okay, I'll take that on board. That I talked too much. Yes, of course, that's just me. I'm just a self-obsessed narcissist and gift of the gab or verbal diarrhea, whichever way you want to put it. So yeah, I'll plead guilty to any of those criticisms. Those are true, and I should work on that. But to say that it's not Catholic to love my enemies and to allow someone to be different and to have different thoughts, words, and deeds, right? And to be, it's one thing. It's one thing to tolerate something like cross-dressing or whatever it might be. It's one thing to tolerate it, as I do very easily. It's an easy thing to tolerate for me. It does not get my back up. It does not make me angry unless you're doing it, walking into a public school and trying to educate the young that this is normal or something like that. Yeah, that's going to make me angry, and I'm going to hopefully stand up to protect the innocence of children. But if it's me one-on-one with another adult that has some sexual perversion that they're fond of and they want to have a parade about it, the parade is a public thing, and I think it's dangerous for the young to be exposed to that. It's something that is dangerous, very dangerous. So yeah, there are definitely concerns. But when I'm speaking one-on-one with anyone, even a convicted pedophile or rapist, whatever it is, someone that's committed racial crimes or war crimes or whatever, when I'm speaking one-on-one with this person on my podcast, I will show respect because I do love and respect that person. I do. I'm not pretending to love and respect my guests. I do actually love and respect my guests. Now, some of them annoy me, right? But I still love and respect them. I've interviewed about 180 people, and probably 5 of them annoyed me. And probably 4 of those 5 were Catholic. Okay? So that's just chemistry. That's nothing but chemistry. It's not a big deal. We can't be expected to like everyone. Jesus did not command us to like everyone. Jesus commanded us to love everyone. There's a big difference. We can't fake chemistry. Some of the best chemistry I've had is with people who are wrong about first things. That's just chemistry. Okay? And frankly, I welcome that chemistry as something mysteriously relevant to the history of salvation that we are all part of. Why do I have more chemistry with this rabid Satanist than I do with that ostensibly pious religious person? Why do I have better chemistry? Why? I think God has a plan. I think God is putting into our heart some attraction, some repulsion, and some tastes and some proclivities which are part of God's plan for salvation for each and every one of us. Like I said when I talked to Rebecca on Bread of Life, my Bread of Life interview recently, this is a guaranteed 100% certain fact that God optimizes everything for your greatest good so that you will maximize your place in heaven, right? And I'm speaking to each and every individual on the face of the planet, past, present, and future. Everything's optimized for everyone. Not everyone collectively, but everyone individually. It's optimized for me, it's optimized for you, it's optimized for the other guy, and everyone, and so on. That's a fact. Okay, so I have to listen to my gut when I have good chemistry with someone. I take that on board as an invitation to engage. Does that mean I say, yeah, you're right, there is no necessary being, there are only contingent beings? No, I'm not stupid. I have good chemistry with an atheist doesn't mean I'm stupid. It just means I love and respect this person. I have a certain attraction to them. I have a certain chemistry with them. And there's an opportunity there to engage with them. And I'm going to show my Catholic perspective, maybe not in a perfect way because I'm not a perfect guy, but in my own way. I've got my own way. I've got my own way. You may not like it. Contra Sedevacantism, you may not like my way. Sounds like you got some pretty bad chemistry with me, right? That's it. That's all you can take away. That's all you can take away from my channel is, hey, that guy David Ross on Catholic Versus podcast, I have bad chemistry with him. If you want to blacklist me and tell everyone you meet that I'm a Satanist and Antichrist and antagonistic, contentious, whatever, go for it. You do you, boo. But at the end of the day, it's just chemistry. It's just chemistry. And the podcast is just about 2 people talking about their beliefs, their most cherished beliefs. And I thought that you, as a Catholic, and I, as a Catholic, would have a lot in common. And those differences that you seem to be aggravated about, they'd be very, 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 very interesting to discuss. I'd like nothing more, and the door is still open. So next time you book an appointment with me, try not to cancel, try not to get your panties all bunched up into a knot. And I hope you will reach out and book it again. I'm certainly not holding my breath. And for anyone else out there, for you, Pons Cremator, from my friend Nicola, I'm expecting an email soon with a notification from Calendly saying that I've got some new dates on the calendar for the live chat. So live stream. That's it. So that's it. End of rant. Looking forward to talking to you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll talk very soon. God bless.